So, class or Pete, we've been talking the past week about plants. Specifically, we've gotten into transplanting. We've talked about it, talked about the steps, and that's what we're going to focus on today is actually transplanting, because coming up really soon, it's getting that fall, that cool time of the year. We've got our mum sale coming up. So we have some chrysanthemums that we're going to be selling eventually from our greenhouse. So a few things that we're going to work on is planting at the right depth. But before we get there, I wanted to show you, this is what we're going to end up with. We've got, as you can tell, we have the soil at the correct line. We have our plant nice and up at the top. If you look down towards the base of the stem, you notice that there's no bare roots showing. The plant's going to get plenty of water, nutrients, everything it needs to grow, as well as some sunlight up here. All right, so basic things we're going to need. We're going to need our plug or our starter plant that we've got going. We need our container. With this one, we have just a small, round, about 3-inch container, and then we are going to have a little extra soil. So it's really important to make sure that your plant's going to be at the right height. You want to, if you look inside your container, there is a line that will tell you which where you need to fill it up to with the soil if you have to. Other than that, it's pretty simple. Like we said, you take your plant, fill it up as you need to with soil, put your plant into the container, and make sure that you have that. Now with soil, especially potting soil, it can have things like fertilizers in it, as well as other chemicals here and there. Your plants might have had something sprayed on them at one time or another. So it's really important that once you start getting your hands on any of this, try not to rub your face, your eyes, anything like that. Could burn. You don't want to get it in your mouth. And really important to remember not to do that, because we're going to wash our hands after class and after we completed our project. So moving on. Just make sure we're safe with that and we're following those rules. Now, real simple, transplanting, as far as what we're going to do in this class, super simple. But as you're going to see when we do our plant sale, our mum sale, there is a lot of profit to be made in the real world by going out and actually selling these. So you take a little bit of your extra soil, you put it in here, make sure that your plant's going to fill to the top. You're going to want your plant nearly to the top, but you want a little bit of space there on top. That way when you water your plant, that little bit of water that's left up here on the top of the soil can soak down, fully soak the root system, and give that plant some nice water that it's going to be able to grow and fill up into. All right, so Pete, go ahead and put yours in, and I'll give it a check afterwards, and that'll be what we'll do. All right, Pete, looks good. What you could actually do is you could maybe make sure you take a look at it, make sure it's real level, but that's being nitpicky about your plant by saying, your soil that's there is not too level. In reality, as we water and as that soil starts to drop down and starts to compress a little bit over time as we're watering it, or it becomes, the roots start to grow into it, the soil level is going to change off and on. We might have to do what's called top dressing. That's where we're going to go back and we're going to add a little soil to the top right here to make sure the entire root system is covered. But you did a great job today. I think you understand transplanting very well. If you have any questions, make sure that you're asking me as we're going through, because as you can see, this greenhouse is full of mums for us to transplant. So we need to work on getting that done as much as we can. Our goal today is to at least have 3 of our 8 tables full of mums that we are going to have transplanted.